Hello, bonjour, こんにちわ. I'm very excited and honored to be in front of you today. Thanks a lot for joining. I do not see you, but I feel a bit impressed. A few words on me before starting. I'm Augustin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Weglot. It's a tech solution to translate and display a website in different languages without code. So today's speech is about two of my preferred topics, translations and no code. I'd like to walk you through the benefits of website translations, how you could do it, achieve that, and what concrete results you can expect with real-life examples. So let's go. Translations. Why translations? When you think about translations, you might see it as a niche feature. And in a sense, compared to payment system, it is. However, it comes with clear benefits. You have expansion and conversion. Whether you have a website in English and translate it into French or Spanish, or you have a website in French or Spanish and translate it into English, the end results are quite similar. On one hand, you will get new traffic, new markets, new customers. You will be able to have your pages indexed by search engines. You will get more traffic coming from other countries. And you will also be able to launch new markets and ultimately get new customers. On the other hand, conversion. So it's all about accessibility, experience, understanding. Understanding is quite simple. If someone goes to your website but does not understand what it says, they can buy, they can convert. And accessibility and experience might be for existing foreign visitors coming to your website. So for example, if you are English, US-based or UK-based company, you might have some traffic coming from visitors that have Spanish as their native language. So for them, it would be better to have the Spanish version, as it would be easier for them to convert. So you have expansion and conversion. But how would you do that? How would you translate a website? There are different approaches. We're going to name two here. You have one that is duplicating your website or your web pages, and the other one using a no-code tool. I'm obviously biased as I'm the co-founder of Weglot, but like Drake, I would not recommend to duplicate your page or your website. Why? Duplicating would mean maintaining as many pages, as many websites, as many languages you have. So ultimately, multiplying the time and resources, marketing, technical, content, dedicated to your websites. On top of that, you will also need to set up the SEO technical part for your translated versions yourself. And it can be a bit tricky. It's not like building a rocket, but it can be a bit tricky and source of errors. And finally, you would start and you need to start translations from scratch. That's the three main reasons why sometimes translations can be seen as a huge mountain that's quite challenging to climb. But hopefully, no code has been invented. So no code, I think that translations and translating a website is a sweet spot for no code tools. I would never recommend enough using no code, so whenever you can. And here in this presentation, we're gonna just talk about translations. But when you think about no code and tools in general, I think it's important to have kind of a checklist to review and make sure the tools you're going to try, you're going to add to your website are a good fit. So I tried to do this checklist, and summarize 3 simple items. One is it has to be easy to install and use. It might be obvious for some of you, but I guess it's a must-have for any no-code tool. Easiness and simplicity. That's one of the value of the no-code trend we're experiencing. You do not want to spend more than 10 to 15 minutes to set it up and to see it by yourself if it's meeting your needs or not. And once installed, you want to almost forget about it and just go back to it when you need it, enjoying an overall seamless experience. So easy to install and use. What's next? Automated. Also, it might be obvious, but at some point, a no-code tool needs to bring some sort of automation. It needs to automate tasks you would have done manually otherwise, or you would need to have people involved in doing it manually. And the last, but not the least, powerful. I think that, the way I see no-code tools is a bit like giving superpowers. It's a strong image, but at least it's a promise we're trying to keep. In other words, without the tool, you would need to, again, involve different people, maybe different teams, and allocate a lot of their time to try to achieve the same results. It also means that the no-code tools must deliver the same level of performance, if not more, than the old-school alternative approaches. If the tool provides a deprecated experience, then it's not useful. So yeah, that's really the 3 things to bear in mind when looking at tools and no-code tools in particular. Easiness, simplicity when installing and using, automation, and powerful. So now I'm going to take Weglot as an example to illustrate the different points. But again, I'm based and there are other tools available in the market. It's just the one I know the best since I'm the co-founder of Weglot. So Weglot, I'm trying to present Weglot in a nutshell. It's a tool you can install in minutes, and you will get instant translation. Content will be automatically detected and translated. What we do is that we provide a first layer of machine translations. It's coming from leading providers of the market, namely, there are Google, DeepL, Microsoft, and others, but the 3 I have in mind. And then you can manage these translations directly in one platform. Don't need to go through technical stuff. So let's deep dive on the first point. Install Weglot in minutes. So here it's about simplicity and easiness of use. You can actually install Weglot on a Webflow website or any technologies in a couple of minutes. Translations, again, are done instantly. And we are providing a language button that you can play with, customize, obviously, directly, so you can access translated pages instantly. It means that between the creation of the account, of your Weglot account, and the display of the Spanish version of your website, for example, it's 10 minutes maximum. Then manage all your content in one platform. That's automation. You don't need to go through source files or Excel files or string files. And you can do that if you want. You don't have to edit translations through a translation list or even a visual editor. The visual editor, it's actually it actually gives you the feeling of being on your website, reviewing, where you can review and edit all your translations. Or you can even invite translators or local teams, country teams to do that for you. At this point, you might feel you've gained some sort of superpowers, but it's not superpower if it's not optimized for SEO. in your translated languages. Why am I bringing the SEO topic here? It's because its translations are content. So when it's about content, it's about also search engines, results, and SEO. So it's really important when you're doing the translations to have this SEO part in mind. When we built Weglot, we did our research to understand how we could have something that's optimized for SEO. So we just looked at the source, Google documentation. And when you looked at Google documentation, there are 3 things you need to have if you want to get indexed by search engines. A dedicated, unique URL per language. That means that there is one URL for French and Spanish for an English website, for example. To do that, Google recommends 3 ways. One is subdirectories. So subdirectories is /es or /fr for French and Spanish versions. So if my website is mywebsite.com, it means it's mywebsite.com/fr for French and mywebsite.com/es for Spanish. The second one is subdomains. Subdomains, it's fr.mywebsite.com and es.mywebsite.com. And the last one, the third one, is top-level domains. So that's mywebsite.fr or mywebsite.es. These are the 3 ways to do dedicated unique URL per language. Second point for SEO, it's server-side content. What does that mean? It means that your content, your translations are in your source code. So when you open the source code of the page, you can see translation there. And that's how search engines crawl your website. That's how you optimize, they see the translation of your website. If you only do translations on the client side or in the browser, it's working well for human visitors. They will have a great experience. However, search engines might not see the translations and might not index you. So it's quite a big drawback. And the last point is you need to let Google know or let search engines know that there are different versions of your website. There are 2 ways to do that. One is having a sitemap, and the other one is having hreflang tags. That's the way we're doing it with Weglot. So we're adding hreflang tags in the source code to make sure that whenever Google visits one of the versions of the page, they know that there are other translated versions of the page that are here, and they can crawl them. So that's the 3 technical requirements you need to make sure to have if you want to have your French and Spanish versions indexed by search engines. The good news is Weglot does that out of the box by default, so you don't have anything to do on your side. Okay, that's enough with the technical stuff. Let's move on to real-life examples and how no-code translation tools work for real people. These are 2 great companies that are translating their websites and using a no-code tool to do that. It's Slidebean, they're US-based in New York, and Bigblue, French company based in Paris. Let's start with Slidebean. Slidebean is a pitch deck design platform for startups and small businesses. They help them to build their deck or to with design or financial models whenever they need to go to financials partners. As they grew, they wanted to make their website available in more than just one language, which was English, the original one. So what did they do? They created a second website in Spanish, a bit more simplified than the first one. But very soon, they realized that adding new content, offerings, and updates on both websites became impossible. So they spent a lot of time for low results. They decided to switch to a no-code solution, no-code tool for the translated versions. And in minutes, they were able to add not one, but 4 languages to the website: French, German, Spanish, and Arabic. New content is automatically detected and translated. This led to a 200% increase in Spanish-speaking visitors and a 30% increase in overall conversions. That's concrete, real success for them. So now let's move to the second example. The second example is Bigblue. Bigblue, it's an e-commerce logistic provider for D2C and large brands. They're helping them to provide a smooth and efficient experience for logistics to the customers of their customers and to their customers for the management part of the logistics. It's a French company, and after having originally planned to have their website available in English, they soon realized that it also made sense to have their website in their native language. A lot of their customers are French, and because logistics is a complex, challenging subject, they wanted their French audience to understand some of the issues they were raising in their blog. They wanted to have their content accessible and to be accessible to more people, as their blog was mostly attracting traffic from English-speaking countries. So what did they do? They started by duplicating the pages and manually translate their website. It was hard to maintain, and it was not great in terms of SEO. So they looked for existing alternative solutions and picked a no-code tool for website translations. They literally, I'm quoting, "We spent a third of the time we spent before to translate new pages, and we get a better SEO result. It's a big win for us." And what does it mean in terms of metrics? It's 3x faster for translations and 2x better in terms of traffic to the blog. Again, it's concrete results of how a no-code tool can help you with translations and how translations can help you. Both of the websites are using Webflow, by the way. That's the time to wrap up. There are 3 things I'd love you to take home with you. One is translations is a proven successful growth strategy. We saw it. There are concrete results for the 2 examples we presented. It can mean for you more traffic, a bigger audience, and more customers, more conversions. The second point is no code is the new king. It's way better than manual setup for this specific feature, and it's arguably easier to set up and to test for you for your website. And the last point, the third one, is to use a checklist whenever you want to try a new tool, no-code tool in particular. It's a good way to find the tools you want to assess, and in the end, maybe select the ones that are the easiest to try, so you can quickly see if it's a good fit. Thank you very much, all. It's been an honor to have you watching me today.